Hey folks, in today's video I want to showcase one of my favourite mods for Crusader Kings 3. This is the Veritus Lifestyle Overhaul mod. This reworks how lifestyles work in the game, and if you lean into the more role-playing side of the game, I think you will really enjoy this mod. So what is the mod itself? Well, as you can see on the screen at the moment, this is a complete overhaul of the lifestyle perk system that is found in Crusader Kings 3, designed to encourage build diversity and also add exciting new gameplay options. And I will say, if you do play this mod, it unlocks some really fun mechanics and also some interesting different builds, as they say. So the main features of this mod is it reworks all the lifestyles in the game and also will change each lifestyle from a perk tree design to a perk chart design. You'll see what that means in a second, giving us as players freedom to choose which perks we want. It is no longer linked behind certain trees and things like that. The difference with this is it is a true RPG system. So the skills you have as a character really dictate which skills you can pick up. And what does that mean? Well, I'll show you now. Here we have the King of Norway. He's quite good at martial, so let's click into that. And as you can see, what they were talking about, how this system is laid out, is very different. You can see at the moment, you have the lifestyle focuses on the left-hand side. For martial, you can see these are different to the base game ones. They give different bonuses, but then also different negatives as well. And then the actual skill tree itself, it is now this system. You can see the different points on the left-hand side, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. They are related to how good you are in this lifestyle. So you can see for this king, he has 23 martial. So let's pick war focus as our focus for this lifestyle. And then you can see these unlock, and then we can put points into these. And as you can see, some of these are different to what you see in the game at the moment. With this system, there's 288 different perks, with 126 of these new and not in the base game itself. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of new options here. I'm going to showcase some of them for the martial lifestyle tree and then show you some of the other ones as well. And at the bottom here, you can see these are the usual end cap ones in the base game. These are ones you can pick if you have 8 points in any of the ones above here. So as I said, how this works is as you go down this system, they generally get more powerful. The earlier ones are generally good perks, but also sometimes have a negative side as well. And this really allows you to play a character. If they are very good at martial, you can actually make a very martial-focused character. If you have a martial character, but he's not actually that good at martial himself, you will see you will be limited into how good you can make that character in the martial tree. So what you might want to do is look at something else. Maybe he has like 10 points in learning. So then he could be like a philosopher warrior king, and you put points into both system and you don't feel like you're wasting those early points. So as you can see, the 5-point requirement ones, let's go through all of these. So the first one is Force March, just army movement plus 10%. That is in the base game. Holy Sword plus 5 faith hostility advantage. Duelist is prowess plus 3, and you can challenge your rivals. Again, most of these are in the base game. Some of the later ones are generally ones you'll find just in this mod itself. Then you can see Bloody Toil. Aspirations is a great one. Martial per level of fame, and you also gain additional experience in this lifestyle from winning battles. So every time you win a battle, you get points towards this lifestyle tree. So again, the more you do martial things, the better you become at them. The next one is Pillager, raid speed plus 20%. The Long Robe, this will change your casualties in battles. The next one is great, Ducal Conquest. Usually you have to move a little bit into the tree to pick this up. In this mod, as long as you have 5 points in martial, you can pick this up, and that is a fantastic change if you are trying to play a more martial campaign. The next one is Religious Justification. You gain piety equal to your learning skill every time you win a battle. So as you can see, some of these are in the base game. Some of them are just fun little changes as well. You can see here, War of Kings. Advantage when commanding your own army is plus 5. You can see down here as well, Spoils of Man. This is fantastic. When you have the Pillager command trait, inland raiding is now allowed. This means if you're playing a culture that doesn't have raiding, if you have a leader that has the Pillager command trait, you can actually go raiding even if your culture doesn't allow it. So again, a really fun trait here. Some of these do go along those lines. There's another one, a Toast Before Death. When you host a feast or camp revelry, you get a toast before death for 5 years. And what does that do? It gives you attacker advantage plus 10. So that's just a really cool kind of thematic thing. You host a feast and then you go out and do battle, and you get bonuses for that as well. You can see as well, there's a whole bunch more of these. Empty the pockets. When you deliver loot, you will gain gold equal to your prowess skill. So as you can see, some of these are very, very different to things that you will see in the base game. And one thing I do like about this is that some of the additional new perks moves away from a problem Paradox has with a lot of rewards in this game, where everything is just stat stacking, so ultimately you just snowball into something crazy. You will see as we go through some of these other lifestyle perks, some of them are just very thematic or just give you cool little bonuses. Some of them, especially in the lower tiers, aren't actually all that good all the time, again, to make you diversify into different builds and things like that. Another fun one I wanted to point out is here, Pillow Talk Strategy. When you seduce somebody, you get Pillow Talk Strategy for 5 years, and this is Defender Advantage plus 10. So again, just a really fun bonus here. If you are going out seducing a bunch of people in the game and you're also in a war as well, you will get some bonuses. So again, these are all the martial ones. You can go through these. Some of these down at the bottom, you do need to be 25 skill points. So at the moment we have 23. We'd have to pick up 2 more points, but then you can see these are absolute control. Vassals no longer refuse directives. Belisarius, that gives you minimum and maximum battle roll modifiers. Inspiring Leader, Knight effectiveness per prowess skill plus 1.5%. Fight in my name. When you win a war, you get 200 special soldiers. So if you're doing a whole bunch of warfare, this is a fantastic perk to pick up. Martial Hero, Men-at-Arms reductions there. Face of Death, Peace Acceptance plus 10%, that's obviously in the base game as well. Siegecraft, this boosts your non-siege units to actually do some sieging. Again, that is in the base game as well, but this one's a little bit better than the base game version. Marauder King, no advantage penalty from disembarking is yes. This means that you don't get disembarkation modifiers, which is a fantastic change if you are good enough to pick this up. And then the last one, Vandal, Army loot capacity plus 100%, movement speed over land when raiding plus 20%. So as I said, that's just the martial side of things. If we go into one of these other ones like Stewardship, you can see the same thing. This guy has 8 Stewardship. That means he can only pick things out of the top tier of Stewardship. And some of them, as you can see, are kind of similar across the different trees. Aspirations, for example, is the same as Martial. In this example, you get more XP the more buildings you build, which again just leans into that kind of gameplay as well. But then you've got Duke's Coin, that gives you 1 gold a month extra. Manor Lord, this gives you reductions in building costs. You can see Byzantine Gifts, tributary taxes plus 20%, but tributary opinion minus 20%. Enlistment, increasing your levy size. Consul, your governor trait experience is 50% better, which is a fantastic bonus if you are playing in a governorship role. And then kinship, same culture modifiers. Again, some of these are in the base game already. Some of them have moved into different trees as well. But you can look down here. If you have 15 points, you can just pick up meritocracy. You don't have to go down that tree at all. You can just pick up meritocracy and then just try claim your liege's titles. And then as you can see, the 25 tier ones, purchase loyalty, mercenary higher duration plus 200%. Deep pockets is fantastic. If you have the greedy trait, you just get 500 gold. If you don't have the greedy trait, you still get 250 gold, which is a really cool bonus. Peasant reforms makes your levy better. Expansionist, constructing a building changes the development level of a county by +1, which is a great change, especially if you're building a lot of buildings in your realm, obviously. Hidden coffers is a cool one as well. Your primary heir gains gold equal to 10 times your age when your character dies. So if you die when you're 60, your heir will immediately get 600 gold when you do play as them. Again, just a fun perk in this tree. The next one, Blinded by Gold. You can spend 1,000 gold to get a perpetual hook on a character who has lower stewardship than you have. So again, you can't use this against everybody. If somebody is smarter than you in stewardship, they wouldn't let you use this. So again, kind of leans into the role-playing side of things as well. Being counter, you can use extort subject's decision. Again, that's from the base game. And then the last one, domain limit +2 as well. So again, that's the stewardship tree. All these different trees have different additions, new additions, and also things moved around as well. You can see over here in learning, dark arts, max convert to witchcraft schemes +1, and then converting people is 40 days faster as well. So if you're leaning into this, maybe for the achievement that's linked to it, it would be a fun one to do as well. Too pious to die. When you begin a pilgrimage, you gain 2 pious to die for 5 years, which gives you a huge boost to disease resistance. So maybe if you're heading off on pilgrimage, the area you're going to gets a disease. This will help you survive that little bit longer as well. And again, some of these level 25 ones on this character would be locked away from us. We only have 12 learning, so as you can see, only the top 2 levels are available. But if we were able to get it to 25, you can see you can just get quick. If you have 25 points, you can just be a quick character. Older than time, you could rename this the High Steam bonus. You get a huge boost to your elderly health, which obviously lets you live longer and longer. Introspective, that changes how stress works for you. Broad interest, this gives you 1 unlock in each of the different trees, which is a cool way for this to work as well. True Faith, piety +1 a month. Anatomical studies, this is a good one, I think. This moves this ability to be a little bit harder to get for your characters, but again, it makes sense. If your character is very good at learning, they would perhaps have a better chance of getting a better personal physician, and that plays out in this trait as well. And then Walk the Sacred Lands. When you enter a holding during a pilgrimage, gain piety equal to your learning skill. So if you're going on a huge pilgrimage across a lot of different lands, you will get a massive amount of piety from this. Again, really leaning into your character, being a fantastic learning character, and making it play out that little bit different. Anyway, folks, I won't keep you all day reading out all these different ones. Hopefully the ones I've shown you kind of show off what this mod is about. I would definitely recommend picking it up. The last thing I wanted to show you though is the wandering system. This is better than the base game, I think, because you can see again those same 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, that isn't how good you are at any different skill. This is how many points of interest you've been to, which is a fantastic way for this to work. I wish this was in the base game. So if you go to 5 points of interest, that allows you to put a point in the top row. If you then go to 10 different points of interest, you can go into the second row and just going further and further down. And again, at level 25, you would be a strong character if you had done all that exploring. All-seeing eye, you can do the inspection activity that little bit better as well. The learned path, whilst you are traveling, you gain the perk of the same name, and this gives you learning plus 10 whilst you are traveling. This could help you at university and different things as well. Deathbed Saga, when you die, your dynasty gets 500 renown. Wanderer's Legacy, point of interest rewards plus 30%. So using this, you'll get a lot of lifestyle points just from visiting different places. Also allows you to learn another language, and your primary heir will also inherit this perk as well. So they won't need to visit 25 places. On your next character, you'll have this unlocked already, and then you can keep that bonus going in the future, which is a fantastic way for this to work. Again, many of the things you see here are things that I wish they bring into the base game as well. I just think this is such a cool way for this system to work. Knowing the world, when you sway somebody, gain prestige equal to the amount of points of interest that you have visited. So if you visited 55 points of interest, you're going to get 55 prestige every time you sway somebody, which doesn't sound crazy, but again, it's leaning into the RPG side of things. It is just something that might happen. If you're swaying somebody, they might think, wow, you've been to a lot of places, I think you're really prestigious, and then you get some extra prestige out of that. But anyway, folks, I'll leave you there for today. Again, I just wanted to show you this mod. I think it's a fantastic mod to use. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. I would definitely say give it a try. Again, if you're more into the role-playing side of the game, you might enjoy it that little bit more. But even if you just like map painting, there's a lot of cool things. Again, if you go back to Marshall, if you just focus on Marshall on every character, there's just some fantastic bonuses in here. And I think it does make you play a character a lot more how they are in the game. I like using this system. Again, if we go back to this character, the King of Norway, maybe I would start him as a martial character, and then as he gets older in age, maybe I'll move over to learning, and then I can do that and then start filling out some points here as well. The other thing this does that I didn't mention earlier is that it allows you to change your lifestyle focus with no cooldown, so you don't have to wait for certain things to happen. You can change your focus whenever you want, and then you can also, as you can see with this character, he's got 1 point in diplomacy, 4 in martial, 1 in stewardship, 2 in intrigue, and 3 in learning as well. So you can kind of make a more rounded character. And again, if you've got a very bad character, well, he's going to be very bad or not have some of the cooler mechanics open to them. And then if you have a very good character, they're going to have all these different abilities, all these different cool, flavorful, different perks that you can pick up as well. And I really think it makes campaigns that little bit more exciting. And as I said at the beginning, I use this in all my live stream campaigns, and people come into the chat and are always asking like, what's that mod? What does it do? And I spend half the live streams explaining this every time. But we'll leave it there for today, folks. So hit the like button if you've enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I cover all the news around Crusader Kings. I like covering mods, different campaigns, things like that on the channel. I do live streams where we do achievement runs as well. And I also cover EU5 and other historical strategy games on the channel as well. But we'll leave it there for today, and I'll see you all next time.